Absence by Matthew Arnold. In this fair stranger's eyes of grey, thine eyes, my love, I see. I shudder, for the passing days had borne me far from thee. This is the curse of life, but not a nobler, calmer train of wiser thoughts and feelings blot our passions from our brain. But each day brings its petty dust, our soon shocked souls to fill, and we forgot because we must, not because we will. I struggle towards the light, and ye, once longed for storms of love, if with the light ye cannot be, I bear that ye remove. I struggle towards the light, but oh, while yet the night is chill, upon time's barren stormy flow, stay with me, Margaret, still.
Desire by Matthew Arnold. Woe, who dost dwell alone, woe, who dost no wind own, woe to whom all are known, from the cradle to grave, safe, oh safe. From world's tensions, from tribulations, from that fierce anguish, wherein we languish, from that torpor deep, wherein we lie asleep, heavy as death, cold as a grave, safe, oh safe. When the soul growing clearer sees God no nearer, and the soul moving higher, to God comes no nigher, and the arch-fine pride mounts at her sight, folding her high emprise, sealing her eagle eyes, and, when she fain would soar, make idols to adore, changing the pure emotion of a high devotion to the skin-deep sense of her own eloquence, strong to devise, strong to enslave, safe, oh safe, from the ingrained fashion of his earthly nature, but master creature, from grief that is but passion, from mirth that is but faking, from tears that bring no healing, from wild re-complaining, thin-out strength bewailing, safe, oh safe. From doped, where all is doble, where wise men are not strong, where comfort turns to trouble, where just men suffer wrong, when sorrow treats on joy, where sweet things soon as cloy, where faiths are built on dust, where love is half mistrust. Hungry and barren and sharp as the sea, thou set us free, and let the full stream fly, where our sick souls do lie, tossing continually, or where the boys have come. Let our hopes be dumb, let our words be mild, all strifes be reconciled, all pains be gilt. Light brings no blindness, love no unkindness, knowledge no ruin, fear no undoing, from the cradle to the grave, safe, oh safe.
Destiny by Matthew Arnold. While each is striving from of old to love more deeply when he can, still would be true, yet still grows cold. Ask the powers that sport with man, we joked in him for endless strife, a heart of ice, a soul of fire, and hurled him on the field of life, an aimless, unaided desire.
Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. The sea is calm tonight, the tide is full, the moon lies fair, upon the straits, on the French coast the light gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand, glimmering and raised, out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window, sweet is the night air, only from the long line of spray, where the sea meets the moon-blanched land. Listen, we hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back, and fling at their return up the high strand, begin in cheese, and then again begin with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegeans, and it brought into his mind the troubled ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound of thought, hearing it by this distant northern sea. From sea of faith was once two at the full, and round our shore lay like the folds of a bright girly field. But now I only hear its melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breach of the night wind down the vast edges drear and naked shingles of a world. Ah, love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, have really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain, and we are here as on a darkened plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night.
Early Death and Fame by Matthew Arnold. For him who must see many years, I praise the life which slips away out of the light and mutely, which avoids fame unto less fair followers, envy, strife, stupid detraction, jealousy, cable, insincere praises, which descants the quiet mossy track to age. But when a mature death beckons too early the guest from the half-tried banquet of life, young in the bloom of his days, leaves no leisure to press, slow and surely, the sweets of a tranquil life in the shade. Full for him be the hours, give him emotion, though pain. Let him live, let him feel, I have lived. Heap up the moments with life, triple his pulses with fame.
East and West by Matthew Arnold. In the bare midst of England's they show, two springs which close by one another play. And 1300 years ago, they say, two saints meet often where those waters flow. One came from Penanum, westward and aglow, wittened his face for the sun fronting ray. Eastwards the other from the dying day, and he with unseen face did always go. Cyril the bright, keeping the dark, men said, the seer from the east was then in light, the seer from the west was then in shade. And now 'tis changed, in conquering sunshine bright, the man of the bold west now comes arrayed. He of the mystic east is touched with night. East London by Matthew Arnold. 'Twas August, and the fierce sun overheat smote on the scarlet streets of Bethnal Green, and the pale river through his windows seen. And Spital Fields looked thrice dispried. I met a preacher where I knew and said, Island overwoken, how fair Ewan was seen. Bravely, said he, for I of late have been much cheered with thoughts of Christ, the living breed. O human soul, as long as thou canst so, set up a mark of everlasting light above the howling senses ebb and flow, to cheer we, and to right we if thou woe. Not with lost toil thou labourest through the night, thou makest the heaven, thou hopest indeed the home.
Growing Old by Matthew Arnold. What is it to grow old? Is it to lose the glory of the form, the lustre of the eye? Is it for beauty to forego her wrath? Yes, but not for this alone. Is it to feel our strength, not our bloom only, but our strength decay? Is it to feel each limb grow stiffer, every function less exact, each nerve more weakly strung? Yes, this and more, but not. 'Tis not what in youth we dreamed 'twould be. 'Tis not to have our life mellowed and softened as with sunset glow the golden days decline. 'Tis not to see the world as from a height with rapt prophetic eyes, and heart profoundly stirred, and reap and feel the fullness of the past for years that are no more. It is to spend long days and not once feel that we were ever young. It is to add immured in the hot prison of the present month, the month of very pain. It is to suffer this, and feel but half enfeebled. What we feel deep in our hidden heart festers the dull remembrance of a change, but no emotion, none. It is last stage of all, and we are frozen up within and quite the phantom of ourselves, to hear the word applaud the hollow ghost which blamed the living man.
Human Life by Matthew Arnold. What mortal when he saw life's voyage done, his heavy friend, would ever yet dare tell him fearlessly, I've kept unfringed by nature's law, vainly written chart who gazed me, to guide me, I've steered by to the end. Let us make no claim on life's incautious sea, to too exact a steering of our way. Let us not fret and fear to miss our aim, if some fair coast has lured us to make stay, or some friend hailed us to keep company. I would each fain drive at random and not steer the rule, weakness and worse, weakness bestowed on vain, whence from our sight the unsuiting concert rife, we rush by coasts where he had lived remain. Man cannot, thought he would, life changed full. Now as the foaming swift of torn up water on the main falls heavily away with long drawn roar, on either side the black deep frown of path, cut by an onward loving vessel approach, and never touches the ship's side again. Even so we leave behind, as chartered by some unknown powers, we steam across the sea of life by night. The joys which were not for our use designed, the friends to whom we had no nature right, the homes that were not destined to be ours.
Immortality by Matthew Arnold. Foiled by our fellow man, depressed, outworn, we leave a brutal world to take its way, and patience, and in our life we say, the world should be thrust down, and we are born. And will not when the immortal army scorn the world's poor rooted leavings? Or will they, who failed under the heat of the life's day, support the feathers of the heavenly morn? No, no, the energy of life may be kept on after the grave, but not begun. And he who flagged not in the earthly strife, from strength to strength advancing, only he his song well knit, and all his battles won, mounts, and that hardly, to eternal life. Morality by Matthew Arnold. We cannot kindle when we will the fire which in the heart resides. The spirit bloweth, and is still in mystery our soul abides. But task and hours of insight willed can be through hours of gloom fulfilled. With aching hands and bleeding feet we dig and heap, lay stone on stone. We bear the burden and the heat of a long day, and wish 'twere done. Not till the hours of light return all we have built do we discern. When the clouds are off the soul, when thou dost back in nature's eye, ask how she viewed thy self-control, thy struggling, task morality, nature, whose free, light, cheerful air oft made we in thy gloom despair. And she whose sense of it dosed dread, whose eye were waste afraid to see on her face a glow spread, a strong emotion on her cheek. "Ah, child," she cries, "that strife divine, whence was it? For it is not mine. There is no effort on my brow, I do not strive, I do not weep, I rush with a swift spheres and glow and joy, and when I will I sleep. Yet that severe, that earnest air I saw, I felt it once, but where? I knew not yet the gawk of time, nor wore the manacles of space. I felt it in some other clime, I saw it in some other place. 'Twas when the heavenly house I trod, and lay upon the breast of God. On the Rhine, by Matthew Arnold. Vain is the effort to forget. Some day I shall be cold, I know, as is the eternal moonlit snow of the high Alps to which I go. But not yet, not yet. Vain is the agony of grief. 'Tis true, indeed, an iron knot ties straightly up for mine by lot, and were it snapped, thou lovest me not. But is despair relief? A while let me the thought have done, and as this brimed unwrinkled Rhine, and that for purple mountain line, lie sweetly in the look divine of a slow sinking sun. So let me lie and calmest way, let beam upon my inward view those eyes of deep, soft, lucent hue, eyes too expressive to be blue, too lovely to be grey. Ah, quiet, all things feel thy balm. Those blue hills too, with rivers flow, were restless once, but long ago. Damned is their turbulent youthful glow, their joy is in their calm. Power of Youth, by Matthew Arnold. And they remember, with piercing, untold anguish, the proud boasting of their youth. And they feel how nature was fair, and the mists of delusion and the scales of habit fall away from their eyes. Progress, by Matthew Arnold. The Master stood upon the mount and taught. He saw a fire in his disciples' eyes. The old law, they said, is wholly come to naught. Behold the new world rise. Was it the Lord when said, with scorn ye saw the old law observed by scribes and Pharisees? I say unto you, see ye keep that law more faithfully when rees. To hasty heats for ordering worlds, alas! Think not that I to annul the law have willed, nor jot nor title from the law shall pass till all have been fulfilled. So Christ said 1800 years ago, and what then shall be said to those today who cry aloud to lay the old world low, to clear the new world's way? Religious fervours, adored misappealed, hence, hence they cry, ye do but keep man blind, but keep himself immersed, preoccupied, and lame the active mind. Ah, from the old world let some one answer give. Scorn ye this world, where tears, where inward cares? I say unto you, see that your souls live a deeper life than theirs. Say ye, the spirit of man has found new roads, and we must leave the old faiths and walk wherein? Leave then the cross, as ye have left carved gods, but guard the fire within. Bright else and fast the stream of life may roll, and no man may the other's hurt behold, yet each will have one anguish his own soul, which perishes of cold. Here let that voice make end, then let a strain from a far lonelier distance, like the wind be heard, floating through heaven, and fill again this man's profoundest mind. Children of man, the unseen power, whose eye forever doth accompany mankind, hath looked on no religion scornfully that man did ever find. Which has not taught weak wills how much they can? Which has not fallen on the dry heart like rain? Which has not cried to sunk very man, thou must be born again? Children of man, not that your age exceal in pride of life, the ages of your sires, but that you think clear, feel deep, bear fruit well, the friend of man desires.
Quiet Work, by Matthew Arnold. One lesson, nature, let me learn of thee. One lesson, which in every wind is blown. One lesson of two duties kept at one. For the loud world proclaim they and mighty. Of toil unsevered from tranquillity. Of labor that in lasting fruit outgrows. Far noise schemes accomplished in repose. Too great for haste, too high for rivalry. Yes, while on earth 1,000 discords ring, man's endless uproar mingling with his toil, still do I quiet ministers move on, their glorious task in silence perfection, still working, blaming still our vain turmoil, labors which shall not fail when man is gone.
Religious Isolation, by Matthew Arnold. Children, as such forgive them, have I known, ever in their own eager pastime bent to make the incurious bystander, intent on his own swarming thoughts and interest own, too fearful or too fond to play alone. Though thou, whom light and wine own inmost soul, not less, why boast, illuminates, control wishes unworthy of a man full grown. What thought the holy secret which moulds we, moulds not the solid earth? Fought never winds have whispered it to the complaining sea, nature's great law, and law of all men's minds. To its own impulse every creature stirs, live by thy light, and earth will live by hers.
Revolutions by Matthew Arnold. Before man parted for this earthly strand, while yet upon the verge of heaven he stood, God put a heap of letters in his hand, and bade him make with them what word he could. And man has turned them many times, met Greece, Rome, England, France, yes, nor in vain essayed, way after way changed but never cease. While letters have combined, something was made. But an inextinguishable sense haunts him that he has not made what he should. But he has still thought out to recommence, since he has not yet found the word God would. And empire after empire at the height of sway have failed this boding sense come on, have failed their huge frames not constructed right, and drooped and slowly died upon the throne. One day thou say'st, there will at last appear the word, the order, which God man should be. Ah, we shall know it well when it comes near. The ban will quit man's heart, he will breathe free. S Lusitania by Matthew Arnold. I read in Dante how that horned light, which hid Ulysses, waved itself and said, following his son who set a vessel's heat to the great main, paced Seville on the right, and quite on the left, with southward speed, and last in air, far off them rose a height. We cheered, but from it rushed a blast of might, and struck, and o'er us the sea waters preed. I dropped the book, and of my child I thought, in his long black ship speeding night and day, o'er some seas dark Tenerife rose, fraunt, with omen. Oh, where that mount passed, I say, with the opens, and this cart is brought, reached the Cape Verde Islands, Lusitania. Signed Brandan by Matthew Arnold. Signed Brandan sails the northern main. The brotherhoods of saint are glad. It greets when once he sails again. So late, such storms, the saint is mad. He heard across the howling seas chill shoning bells on wintry nights. He saw on spray-swept Hebrides tranquil the monastery lights. But north, still north, St. Brandan's steed, and now no bells, no convents more. The hurtling polar lights are neared, the sea without a human shore. At last it was the Christmas night, stars shone after a day of storm. He sees float past an iceberg white, and on it Christ, a living form. But furtive mind, with scowling eye, of fair red and tufted fell, it is so, where shall Brandan fly? The traitor Judas out of hell pales with terror. Brandan said, the moon was bright, the iceberg near. He hears the voice sighed humble, wait, by high permission I am here. One moment wait, O holy man, on earth my crime, my death they knew. My name's under all men's ban. Ah, tell them of my respite too. Tell them one blessed Christmas night, it was the first after I came, breathing self-murder, freezing spite, drew my guilty in endless flame. I felt as I in torment lay, mid the soul's plague by heavenly power. An angel touched mine arm and say, go hence and cool thyself an hour. Ah, whence this mercy, Lord? I said. Believe I recollect, said he, who asked the passage by for aid, in Joppa and the charity. When I remembered how I went in Joppa, through the public street, one morn with the sirocco went. Its storms of dust with burning heat. And in the street a leaper sat, shriveling with feather, naked, awed, sent raked his source from hell to pate, the hot wind feathered him fivefold. He gazed upon me as I paced, and murmured, help me, or I die. To the poor wretch my cloak I cast, some look east and hurried by. O Brandan, think what grace divine, what blessing must fool, goodness shower, when fragment of it small like mine, have such inestimable power. Well fed, well clothed, well friended, I did the chance act of good with one. When went my way to kill and lie, forgot my good as soon as done. The germs of kindness in womb, of mercy core did not expire. Outlives my guilt, outlives my doom, and friends me in the pit of fire. Once every year, when carol wake, on earth a Christmas night repose, and rising from a sinner's lake, I churn to these healing snows. I stand with ice my burning breast, with silence balm my reeling brain. O Brandan, to whose hour of rest the job leaper east was pain. Tears started to St. Barton's eyes. He bowed his head, he breathed a prayer, and looked, and lo, the frosty skies, the iceberg, and now Judas where. Separation by Matthew Arnold. Stop not to me at this bitter departing speak of a sure consolation of time. Fresh be the round, still renewed be its smarting, so but the image endured in its prime. But if the steadfast commandment of nature that its remembrance should always stay, if the loved form and the deep cherished future must when unseen from the soul fade away, we let no half affect on memory's cumber, fled at once be all vestige of thee, deep by the darkness, and still be the slumbers, dead be the past and its phantoms to me. Then, when we meet, and the look strays towards me, scanning my face and the changes wroth there, who, let me say, is this stranger regards me with the grey eyes and the lovely brown hair? Shakespeare, by Matthew Arnold. Hovers abide our question. Thou art free, we ask and ask. Thou smilest and art still, O topping knowledge, of a loftiest hill, who to the stars uncrowns his majesty, planting his steadfast footsteps in the sea, making the heaven of heavens his dwelling place, spares but the cloudy border of a space to the follied searching of mortality. And thou who didst the stars and sunbeams know, self-schooled, self-scanned, self-honored, self-secure, didst tread on earth unguessed at. Better so. All pains the immortal spirit must endure, all weakness which impairs, all griefs which bow, find their soul's speech in that victorious brow.
The Lake, by Matthew Arnold. Again I see my blissed hand, the town, the lake are here. My Margaret smiles upon the strand, unaltered with a year. I know that graceful figure fair, the cheek of languid hue. I know that soft and kerchiefed hair, and rose-sweet eyes of blue. Again I spring to make my choice, again in tons of ire. I hear a God's tremendous voice, be concert and retire. Ye guiding powers who join and part, what would ye have of me? I want some more ambitious heart, and let the peaceful be.
The Last Word, by Matthew Arnold. Creep into the narrow bed, creep, and let no more be said. Vain the onset, all stands fast, for thyself must break at last. Let the law and conscience cheese, geese are swans, and swans are geese. Let them have it how we will, thou art tired, best be still. We outwalked we, hasted we, tore we, better men fared thus before we, fired their ringing shot and passed, hotly charged and sank at last. Charge once more, then and be done. Let the victors, when they come, when the thoughts of only fall, find the body by the wall.
The River, by Matthew Arnold. Still gilds the stream, slow drops the boat, under rustling poplars shade. Silent with swans beside us float, none speaks, none heads up turned by head. Let woe's arch eyes now softly shine, with mocking mouth grow sweetly blunt. Ah, let them rest, those eyes on mine let rest their lovely hand. My pent-up tears oppress my brain, my heart is swollen with love unsaid. I let me weep and tell my pain, and on thy shoulder rest my head. Before I die, before the soul, which now is mine, must re-attain immunity from my control, I wanna rule the world again. Before this teased, over-labored heart forever leaves its vain employ, dead to its deep habitual smart, and dead to hopes of future joy. The Second Best, by Matthew Arnold. Moderate task and moderate leisure, quiet living, strict keep measure, both in suffering and in pleasure. 'Tis for this why nature yearns. But so many books thou readest, but so many schemes thou breedest, but so many wishes feedest, that thy poor head almost turns. And, the world so madly jangled, human things so fast entangled, nature's wish must now be strangled for the best which she discerns. So it must be, yet while leading a strained life, while overfeeding, like a rest his wit with reading, no small profit that man earns, who through all he meets can steer him, can reject what cannot clear him, cling to what can truly cheer him, who each day more surely learns, that an impulse from the distance of his deepest best existence, to the words hope, light, persistence, strongly stirs and truly burns. The Voice, by Matthew Arnold. As the kindling glances, queen-like and clear, which the bright moon lances for the tranquil spheres, and the sleepless waters of a lonely mare on the wild whirling waves mournfully, mournfully shiver and die. As the tears of sorrow mothers have shed, prayers that tomorrow shall in vain be sped, when the flowers they flow for lies frozen and dead, fall on the throbbing brow, fall on the burning breast, bringing no rest. like bright waves that fall with a lifelike motion on the lifeless margin of a sparkling ocean. A white rose climbing up a mouldering wall, a gush of sunbeams through a ruined hall, strains of glad music at a funeral so sad, and with so wild a start to this deep sobered heart, so anxiously and painful, so drearily and doubtfully, and oh, with such intolerable change of thought, such contrast strange of unforgotten voice, where accents come like wanderers from a worldly extremity unto their ancient home. In vain all in vain, they beat upon mine ear again, those melancholy tones so sweet and still, those lute-like tones which in the bygone year did steal into mine ear, blew such a thrilling summons to my will, yet could not shake it, made my toast hearts its very life-blood spill, yet could not break it.
The Youth of Nature by Matthew Arnold. Raised are the dripping oars, silent the boat, the lake, lovely and soft as a dream, swims in the sheen of the moon, the mountains stand at its heat, clear the pure June night, but the valleys are floated with haze. Riot and flare fired are where, in the shadow Wordsworth lies dead. So it is, so it will be, fie, nature is fresh as of old, is lovely, immortal as dead. The spots which recall him survive, for he lent a new life to his heads. The palace still broods over fields which border endless lake. Dragon sleeps by the sea. The gleam of evening star trinkets on Greece no more. But rude and sonny and grey, the sheepfold of Micah survives. And far to the south the heath still blows in the Quanto combs, by the favourite waters of Ruth we survive. Yet not without pain and dejection tonight, can I feel that where Poet is gone. He grew old in an age continent. He looked on the rushing decay of a time which shattered his youth, felt with his loathed throes of a social order he loved, outlived his brief and his peers, and like the deepened seer, died in his enemy's day. God bubbled the spring of Tyrus, cups lay bright in the moon, pelican glassed in the lake. Its fires and affair arose the peaks of Pranosus slowly clear. Thebes was behind him in flames, and the clang of arms in his ear, where the awe-struck captor led, the vibrant seat of the spring. Drusus drank and died, nor did reviving Phoebus see such a prophet again. Well may we mourn when the heat of a sacred poet lies low in an age which can rear them no more. We complain that millions of men darken labour and pain, but he was surprised to us all of the wonder and bloom of the world which he saw with his eyes, and were glad he is dead at the fruit-bringing day of his race and past on the earth, and darkness returns to our eyes. For oh, is it you, moonlight and shadow and lake and mountains that fill us with joy, our poet who sings you so well? Is it you, O beauty, O grace, O charm, O romance, which we feel, the voice which reveals what you are? Are ye, like daylight and sun, shared and rejoiced in by all? Or are ye immersed in the mass of matter and hard to extract, or sunk at the core of a world too deep for the most to discern, like stars in the deep of sky which rise on the glass of forsaken, but are lost when the watcher is gone? We are here. I hear it as man heard, and makes an idea the voice of a mighty mother, or creed, the murmur of nature reply. Loveliness, magic trace, we are here. We are set in a world where you abide and finds of souls have not been fretted by them all, but that has been dared to be quiet. The poet who sings for may die. But we are mortal and live, for we are alive of a word. Will ye not learn it now, when you mourn that the poet is dead? Will the singer was less when his themes, life and emotion, and I? More than the singer Louise, weak as a dream of pain, which thrills in this mournful chant, the word which once ran through his soul, called the elation of joy in his gladdest, airiest song, to which of old in his youth filled him, made him divine. Hartley's voice, at its best, gives us a sense of the eve, the vastness, the grade of the gloom of the Util gulf of himself. He knew not yourself and your bards, the clearest the best you have reached most in themselves, if we hate less when they left unrevealed. Ye express not yourselves, can ye make with marble, with colour, with word, what charmed you in other relive? Can the pencil, O artist, restore the figure that bloom of the love, as she was in the morning of spring? Kannst vor pain wie ein fine smile, wise as we rested und fine? Can the image of life have a clue, the emotion of life itself? Yourselves and your fellows, you know, to me, mateless for one, will you know? Will you scan me and sweep me and tell of the thoughts that free rammed in my breast, allowing my sadness, my joy? Will you claim for your great ones the gift to have rendered the gleam of my skies, to have enchoked the moan of my seas, out of the voice of my hills? When your great ones depart, will you say, all things have suffered a loss, nature's height in the grave? Race after race, man after man, have fought with my secret unswears, have dreamed that I live, but for them, wherever glory and joy, where you're dust, where you're changed, where you're gone, I remain. To a friend by Matthew Arnold, who probe or ask in these bad days my mind. He much the old man who clears soul of man, so wide prospect and the Asian fen, and Tremulous hill and Smir Bay fought blind. Much he whose friendship I not long since won, but halving salve whole neck of bliss, fought Arian and Vespasian's brutal son, cleared Rome of what most shamed him. But he his, my special thanks, was even balanced soul. From first youth tested up to extreme old age, business could not make dull, nor passion wild. Who saw life steadily and sought whole, the mellow glory of the Attic stage, sing our sweet colonels and its child.
To the Duke of Wellington by Matthew Arnold. Because thou hast believed the wheels of life stand never idle, but go always round, not by the hands who vex the patient ground, moved only, but by genius in the strife of all its covent torrents after war, urgent, and to feed woe's movement, spinning sand, the fabled sons of pleasure set their hand. And in this vision of a general law, hast laboured with the foremost, hast become laborious, preserving, serious, firm. For this by track across the fretful foam of vehement actions without scope or term, called history, keeps a splendour, due to wit which saw one clue to life and followed it. Too late by Matthew Arnold. Each on his own strict line remove, and some find death ere they find love. So far apart where lives are thrown from the twin soul that halves their own. And sometimes by still harder fate the lovers meet, but meet too late. Thy heart is mine, true, true, true. When love thy hand, no, adieu. West London by Matthew Arnold. Crouched on the pavement close by Belgrave Square, a tramp I saw, ill, moody and tongue-tied. A babe was in her arms, and at her side a girl. Her clothes were rags, their feet were bare. Some labouring man, whose work lay somewhere where, passed opposite. She touched her girl, who hied across, and begged and came back satisfied, which she had let pass the frozen stair. Thought I, above whose state the spirit towers, she will not ask for aliens, but of friends, of sharers in a common human fate. She turns from that court succour which attends the unknown little from the unknown great, and points us to a better time than ours.
Westminster Abbey by Matthew Arnold. What, for terms so scant, our shining visitant? She at us, and now is paced into the night. Clothes for no better keep, O Abbey old. The bone by dedication signed foretold. The presence of that gracious inmate, light, a child of light appeared. High where he came, late born, and long desired. And to man's heart with ensign place and reed, what is the happy glow so soon expired? Rough was the winter eve, where craft the precious leave, and down over the Thames the darkness drew. One still lags last and turns, and eyes the pill. Huge in the gloom, across the thorny aisle, King Sabbath's work, the wondrous minister knew. 'Tis Lambeth now wherein, where roared their boots among the bulrushed steams, and that new minister and the method fan, the well-famed abbey with the whispering Thames. His mates are gone, and he from mist can scarcely see a strange wayfarer coming to his side. Await him, loose his boat and fix his oar, and row him straightway to the further shore, and wait while he did wear a space abide. The fisher obeys, but voice had notes so clear of sweet command, through purse tight he pulls in drizzling haste, and sets his freight ashore on tawny strand. The minister's outlined mass rose dim from the mirrors, and thitherward the stranger took his way. Lo, on a sudden all the palace bright, nave, core, and concert glorified with light. while tongues of fire on coin and carving play, and heavily odors fair came streaming with the floods of glory in, and carol flowed along the heavy air, as if a regan of joy did now begin. When all again is dark, and by the fisher's bark the unknown passenger returning stands, O Saxon fisher, who haste ahead with thee, the fisher from the lake of Galilee. So safe he blessing him with outspread hands, when fate but speaks the while, the drawn woe to King Sabbath shall relate, how St. Peter's church and Tornain Isle Peter his friend with light did consecrate. 1200 years and more along the holy floor pagans have paced the tombs of mighty kings, effaced the humbler's grave of Sabbath's line, and as years speed the ministers slides the wine, grew used to approach of glory wings, arts come and arms and law, and majesty and sacred form and fear, and the primate guest the fisher saw, light, only light, was slow to reappear. The Saviour's heavy light, rain at first was dyed, a spoon of life and immortality, and as an ice of subtles was spent, a draught in mists of childhood wonderment. From fancies here were thoughts, philosophy, and harsh whatever grew of man with mind was darkened and astray, and scarce the bone of life could struggle through, for want of light which should the boon convey. Yet in this later time the promise of a prime seemed to come true at last. Oh, behold, it seemed the child of light did bring the dower, for shone we in my consecrated hour. And in the courts the shining freight and road, bright wits and instinct sure, and goodness warm and truth without alloy, and temper sweet and love of all things pure, and joy and light and power to spread with joy. And onward continence bright shone of so high delight, but in my mind there came how, long ago, lay on the hearth amid the firing, the charmed babe, the Lusian king. His nurse, the mighty mother, willed it so, warm in the breast by day, he slumbered in the brosier born the child. But all night long, amid the slaves he lay upon the hearth, and played with them, and smiled. But once at midnight deep, as the mother woke from sleep, and saw her babe amidst the fire, and screamed. A sigh the goddess gave, and the throne plucked from the fire the child, and laid him down, and raised her face, and glory round her streamed. The morning stole no more, mended the form, the more heat was bone, but remained of celestic sheen the were, and beautified her, and she spake aloud. Awaken the race of man, achieve your God who can, if your own hands the good began and do. At human crying or merit or work divine, immortality made this boy of mine. But those heir to death again is due, they have known no power, and to this pious household to pray, that kindly show me in my wandering hour. She spake, and from the portal passed away. The boy his nurse forgot, and bore a mortal lot, long since his name's heard on earth no more. In some Chantal's battles on Sheraton's side, my nursling of the mighty mother died. And when here all his farms went before, on we too, in thy dark, of childhood Arthur, did some check have power, or raided fort or word, or couldst but stay, bright of heavenly light, a human hour. Wherefore, happy guest, you care new unrest, and weakness warned him, and he feared decline. And in the grave he laid a cherished wife, and man ignoble harassed him with strife. And Aeneas with strength did undermine, when from his abbey fades, the son beloved of his victorious breath, and light's fair nursing stop by first and waits, and next the crowding impotence of death. But hush, this mournful strain, which would with death complain, the oracles forbade, not ill inspired, but pair whose head did plain, whose hands did fork the temple in the pure pernicious gog. Finish the work, and when a meat required, 7 days, the god replied, life happy will expect your perfect meat. Quiet in sleep the 7th night we died. Death was judged the boon supreme indeed. And truly he who here hath run his bright career, and served me noble, and acceptance found, and born to light and ripe the fitness hide, what could he better wish when went to die? And wait the issue, sleeping underground, or should he pray to range down the long age of truth, that ripes slow, and breaks hard with all the baffling change, and all the tethers tossing to and fro? Whist and wet way swings the flux of mortal things, were moving into to only farced goal. What had or Arthur gained to stop and see? After light's term, a term of society, a church once large, and when grows straight in soul, to live and see arise, alternating with wisdom to short we gain, fully revived, refurbished sophistries, and modulation-wise external wane. Ay me, 'tis death that ear which died my voice to hear. Yet would I not disturb thee from thy tomb, the sleeping and fine Eris frankly shade, and rough waves of life for ever laid. I would have break the rest, not change the doom, even as my father woe, even as that laughed, what weary ordered friend, haste thy commission done, ye both may know, wait for the leaving to work, the let to end. And thou, O Abbey grey, pretending to the grey, I was dear guest over the princely sheet, fear not but, but the light once more shall burn, once more find immemorial gleam return, for sung be now this bright, this gracious head. Let but the light appear, and white transfigured walls be touched with flame. Ours will again be present here, again from lip to lip will pass his name.
Worldly place by Matthew Arnold. Even in a palace life may be led well, so spake the imperial sage, purest of men, Marcus Aurelius. But the stifling den of common life, where crowded up a pell-mell of freedom for a little bread we sell, and drudge under some foolish master's ken, rates us if we peer outside our pen, matched with a palace. Is not this a hell, even in a palace? On his truth sincere, who spoke these words, no shadow ever came. And when my ill-schooled spirit is aflame, some nobler, ampler stage of life to win, I'll stop and say, where were no secure here, the aids to noble life are all within.
Written in Butler's Sermons by Matthew Arnold. Affections, instincts, principles and powers, impulse and reasons, freedom and control. So man, unraveling God's harmonious whole, rent in 1,000 shreds this life of ours. Vain labor, deep and broad, where none may see, spring the fontaines of a shadowy throne. The man's one nature, queen-like, sits alone, centered in a majestic unity, and rears her powers like sister islands seen, linking the coral arms under the sea, or clustered peaks with planking gulfs between. Spanned by Ariel's arches of old gold, where all the chariot wheels of life are rolled, in cloudy circles to eternity. Written in Emerson's essay by Matthew Arnold. O monstrous, dead, unprofitable word, but thou canst hear and hearing hold the way. A voice, oracular half, pealed today a hero's banner is unfurled. Hast thou no lip for welcome? Said I. Man after man the world smiled and passed by, a smile, a wistful incredulity, as thought one spake of life unto the dead. Scornful and strange and sorrowful and full of bitter knowledge, yet well as free, strong as the soul, and wise and beautiful, the seeds of godlike power are in us still. Gods are we, bards, saints, heroes, everywhere. Damned judges, answer, truth or mockery.
Youth and calm by Matthew Arnold. 'Tis death, and peace indeed is here, and ease from shame and rest from fear. There's nothing can dismarble now the smoothness of that limpid brow. But is a calm like this, in truth, the crowning end of life and youth? And when this boon rewards the dead, are all debts paid, has all been said? And is the heart of youth so light, its steps so firm, its eyes so bright, because on its hot brow there blows a wind of promise and repose from the far grave to which it goes? Because it hath a hope to come one day to harbour in the tomb? And now the bliss youth dreams is one for daylight, for the cheerful sun, for feeling nerves and living breath. Youth dreams a bliss on this side death. It dreams a rest, if not more deep, more grateful than this marble sleep. It hears a voice within it tell, calms not life's crown, or calms well. 'Tis all perhaps which man acquires, but 'tis not what our youth desires.